Folks, guess where I'm to now? Today we're going on a tour of 4 tiny villages on the route to Bonavista, Route 235. Right now I'm in Knights Cove. Next is going to be King's Cove, and then we're going to Keels and Duntara. So here we have, looks like a really old Saltbox style house built up on blocks right here in Knights Cove with an ocean view. As you can see, it has 2 chimneys. Took 2 stoves to keep these style houses warm. Beautiful day out here in Knights Cove. Very calm, no wind. And we have some more really old style homes over here. The population here is less than 100. And these villages are about 2.5 hours drive from the capital, St. John's, Newfoundland. So it looks like this one has been jacked up and had some piles placed underneath it. Or maybe the house was even moved from another location to here. It's getting some clapboard replaced on the front. You can see the frost on the windows. It's about -5 Celsius here today. Got a tiny shed and a little outhouse out back here. This looks pretty old. And we've got these 2 homes up here. It's unique architecture. Wow. She's had some patches put onto her. Got another old Saltbox house home here. Looks like there used to be one here as well. Well folks, now we're in the beautiful town of King's Cove, and it is believed this place was settled around 1750, with the first resident being James Aylward, who originated from Cork, Ireland. And there were quite a few English and Irish settlers who came to this town, and they were lucky in the sense that many of them were already skilled tradesmen. So we had coopers, blacksmiths, carpenters, masons, tinsmiths, and they were able to build this community with all their skilled trades experience, which is pretty cool. It's a beautiful place. We've got a lighthouse out on the point, a church right here, lots of really old homes here, another church on the hill here. And there was also a watch building expert by the last name of Monk, and he actually built a clock on the outside of his house, and his house is believed to be one of the oldest surviving structures here. So I'm going to try to find it now as we explore the town. So here's an old cellar here, vegetable cellar. There's an old schoolhouse with a stone foundation for the chimney. It's visible. This one has been renovated with new clapboard. Windows do look original though on that side. Here we have a little barn built right on the laneway. It's been fixed up over time. But you would have had goats or cows sticking their head out through there, looking for an apple or a carrot. Here we have a new build here. And we got an old house up here, an old bungalow. It's falling to disrepair there. And we got an old shack here with some history on the front. Let's see what it's saying. Okay, so this was Lawton's Forge. This building was built into the mid-1840s as a dwelling house owned by a cobbler named Thomas Maddox, who made and repaired shoes and boots. In the late 1930s, Austin Lawton purchased the building and converted it into a blacksmith shop, where he carried on business until the early 1970s. He made and repaired all types of engines used by fishermen, and made ironwork such as grapples, anchors, dip nets, tools, iron gates, table legs, etc. He also carried on a horseshoeing business, often making the shoes for wharf bolts or any available iron. Hard coal was used to fuel the fire to heat the iron. Since Mr. Lawton's retirement, his son-in-law Ed Sherman continued to carry on the business on a smaller scale with the skills learned from the former owner. The forge is now owned by Mr. Lawton's daughter and son-in-law and their sons. Still got the old flagpole. Original windows. Almost 200 years old, folks. Wow. It's a beautiful day. Christmas holidays are almost over. It's January 3rd. I got a few more days off. So I figured I'd come back and explore these beautiful towns. Alright folks, we found the monk house. See the clock he built on the front of it? House is number 2. Still got the old chimneys there. This is the oldest house in King's Cove. Oldest surviving house. That's pretty neat, eh guys? All got 2 chimneys. Alright folks, we're on the back of one of the churches here, and it looks like it's undergoing a major renovation, but you can still see some of the original doors and windows, but it looks like it's getting a metal roof and vinyl siding and all the windows and doors replaced at this time, but they're in mid progress here. So we can still see some of the original construction here. Got an original window here. There's the original sheathing, which would have been rough lumber boards. There's an oval window on the top there, on the back. We got a brand new metal roof. You can see the foundation, the stacked stone and mortar. It's almost like a slate foundation. An old retaining wall here. There's a couple of dogs around the corner. Hopefully they got put in because they weren't too happy to see me. Look at the wrought iron hinges on here, guys. Probably made locally over in that forge we were just looking at. And here we have the bell tower. Nice foundation. It's almost 300 years old. If it was built back when this town was started. There's the 2 dogs I was telling you about. Here's another original window here. And you can see all the other windows have been replaced already. So it's gonna last for a lot longer yet. Even this blue house here is one of the older homes here, I believe. There's the gravestone of John Brown, who died here in 1897, and his beloved wife Ruth. Some of these gravestones are from the mid 1700s, which would have been those ones over in the center there, I believe. They're so weathered you can't read them anymore. William S., beloved husband of Jessie Brown, 1908, aged 48 years. Guys, check out the stone foundation on this house here. She's an oldie for sure. Here we have the St. Peter and Paul Catholic Church. All the windows look original. Father Sinnott in 1815 was the first priest to take charge of the King's Cove parish, which extended at that time from Fortune Harbour to Heart's Content, a coastline of 500 miles. He built the first church in 1825. Father William Veach became parish priest in 1875 and established a number of schools and churches in his parish. His first big work in church construction was the present church, whose construction began in 1884. The old one, built in 1825, had become too small for the increased congregation. The new church was built over the old one and was completed by free labor of the parishioners between Knights Cove and Keels inclusive. They traveled every day of the week to King's Cove in relays of 10, whose names were called from the altar each Sunday. The people were cheerfully responsive to these calls, and in 2 years the church was finished. The parish today extends from Tickle Cove to Knights Cove to Keels. Wow. So in 1886, this church was completed. Alright folks, we're going out to the King's Cove Lighthouse Trail. The Batterton family were keepers of the King's Cove Light for more than 60 years. They regularly use this trail to transport supplies and news from the community of King's Cove and their home on the point. So to give you an idea where we are, Bonavista is right up at the tip of the peninsula, and we're right now at King's Cove right here. And then from here we're going to go over to Duntara and Keels. So here's the trailhead here, guys. We're going to do the inside loop, 1.7 kilometers, and it's snowy and icy, so we got our hiking boots on, our work boots, and we got hats and gloves. It's about a 45-minute round trip, they're saying. Geo site here. This former country road, once known as Batterton's Path, connected the lighthouse on the headland to the community of King's Cove. Now restored, the traditional path provides access to the spectacular coastal scenery, remarkable geological sequences, and a glimpse of a unique history and culture. So lighthouse is right out here on the point, and we're right here. We're just going to go straight out and come back. Or maybe do the inside loop there. Alright. Little picnic area here, gazebo. We've got an old foundation here on the trail out to the lighthouse, guys. Let's check it out. This is the original steps. And this is where the home stood. Partial concrete foundation there. And here's where the chimney would have went up. Corner of the foundation here, we got rocks and mortar. Here's the church. On our way out the trail here now on the inner loop. What a gorgeous day. Outhouse on the trail. Cool. Fella really needs to use, he can. Well folks, I can say it's a lovely path all the way in here. You can even tell there's a bit of crushed stone underneath this skidoo path. Skidoo's got it all packed down nice for me. And still sunny, but there's just a few flurries falling. It's a winter wonderland here. Kings Cove is famous for producing some of Newfoundland's most prominent singers, writers, educators, and in the early 1800s there was actually over 400 people living in Kings Cove. Lighthouse is out that way. Alright, there's a sign here. We're gonna see what that's saying. Okay, here's the lighthouse right here. Nice. Kings Cove Lighthouse. Night light to fishermen and sailors since 1893. The desire to be close to the best fishing grounds led to the settlement of Newfoundland's coastline. Sheltered harbours such as Kings Cove became active ports of trade for merchant vessels from various countries. This development led to the need for proper navigational aids to mark headlands, shoals, and rocks that could wreck ships and cause loss of life. J.T. Neville, inspector of lighthouses from 1871 to 1895, saw it as his mission to support regional and long-distance shipping activities. Built on Western Point in 1893 at a cost of $4,358.41. This beacon is the night that has illuminated the way home for generations of fishermen and sailors. Its precise location is 48 degrees, 34 minutes and 32 seconds north latitude, and 53 degrees, 18 minutes and 50 seconds west longitude. Designed and manufactured in the Chance Brothers factory in Birmingham, England, the separate sections were shipped over and assembled in King's Cove, using overlapping riveted joints, common to the 1800s shipbuilding and boiler making technology. The original light was once a one-burner kerosene oil lamp, which was lit and extinguished daily by the lightkeeper. It was an oscillating white light with 12 revolutions and 2 flashes per minute. Heat on the shades operated the Trolley-Lindbergh system as the light flashed 24 times per minute, with 1 second of light and darkness alternately. A slight change in 1929 resulted in 14 seconds of visible light and 6 seconds of darkness. In 1932, the lamp burned acetylene gas and was changed to a continuous flashing light, making 16 flashes per minute. Advances in technology permitted a change to battery power from 1974 to 84. The batteries usually lasted about a year, at which time they were replaced. In 1984, a battery and solar collector power source was introduced. The 33-watt 12-volt solar panel charges 2 lead-acid batteries which run the light automatically. The current light uses a Seagull 200mm lens and a 0.77 ampere bulb. In addition to the brilliant light, a foghorn sounded from 1930 to 1940 to warn ships in foul weather. The first lighthouse keeper was James Batterton of Greenspond. He had lived in St. John's for 15 years prior to coming to King's Cove. As a coxswain for SS Plover, James served under Captain Samuel Blanford. Shortly after Blanford's election to the House of Assembly representing Bonavista, he appointed James as first lighthouse keeper in King's Cove, to the dismay of the local population. As an outsider, James' appointment led to many to ask, was there not one man in King's Cove who could light a lamp? After arriving here to assume his duties, James built a small keeper's dwelling house for $750. Residents eventually added a large 2-story stable, a pig barn, a large cellar, and double outhouse. Land was cleared and vegetables were cultivated. A water well was built around a spring in the cliff and was blessed by Irish curate Father Cleary in the early 1900s. It was subsequently known as the Holy Well. The residence was torn down in 1934. James died in 1902, and his duties were passed down to his son Philip. Philip and his wife raised 7 children around this very site and that we are now standing on. Philip transferred his duties to his brother James Jr. in 1933. In 1955, James Jr. died and the position of lightkeeper was passed on to the Maddox family. Tom Walsh took over from 92 to 2000, at which time the tradition of lightkeeper ceased and the lighthouse was taken over by the Canadian Coast Guard. Let's go check it out, you guys. This has been here since 1883. I think I got that year right. Here we are out on the point. Some really pretty coastline here. See the solar panel on the front. The windows going up the stairwell. Hit the like button if you like this kind of trip, guys. This wide open clearing here is known as Pat Murphy's Meadow, and anyone who from King's Cove who needed some hay for their cattle or livestock could come over here, as long as they weren't afraid of some hard work, bring their scythe and collect the hay for their animals. Well folks, now I'm in the beautiful town of Dantara on the Bonavista Peninsula. At the peak, this town reached a population of 300. It was settled in the late 1700s, early 1800s by a man named William Carty. Current population I think is around 75 again. I didn't check the current one actually, I'm just guessing on that one, folks. So we're here on Devereux's Lane, and what looks like to me is an old merchant shop here at the end of the laneway, and we have a few old Saltbox style homes in the area. This one over here is like a postcard. I have one up behind here. Pretty original by the looks of it. Very narrow glass on the side of the bay windows. It's their version of a bay window, I guess. Here's an old structure here, folks, and barn and shed or cellar. Three crows on the roof. Wow. Alright, so we're down by the pond here now, guys, in Dantara, and it looks almost like they're restoring these properties down here. This one here is a rock foundation, no mortar. All loose rock there, see? They boarded up for now on that side. This may have been a barn, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe they had a patio up here. What do you guys think it was? Maybe a store? So here we have a very old house here with the veggie cellar built into the hillside. We've got probably a chicken coop here by the looks of it. Built on stilts. Been a while since this one's seen some paint. Someone did start right here though. Wow. Old beer bottle and old flask in the window. Bottle of Aqua Velva maybe. Short chimney. It looks like a hipped roof on this one. And look at this. Old school style. I like this style of roof. And they had a side window as well. What would that be used for, I wonder? Got the outhouse up right here. And behind me we've got a shed. It's on the water side. Looks like it's been there a while though. This house here almost looks like wallpaper. It's painted that way, I think. Wow. Just want to get the backside. Look at this house here. They've got a side window on this as well. What are they using the side windows for, guys? So she's up on concrete piers and a bunch of log supports. Here's a chimney going right up through. Painted just like wallpaper. Wow. We've got the old outhouse and the new outhouse. Or maybe that's the well. Yeah, that's probably the access to the well. Cool, eh? Here we are now down by the breakwater here in Dantara, and this is a town that relied heavily on the sealing industry, and when that collapsed they turned to the logging. Fishing as well. This one looks like it was set on rail ties. It's in fairly good shape for being right on the water. This would have been an old window shutter. You could batten down the hatches. And there's a sign here that says 2 rooms, contemporary art projects. So that's what we were looking at earlier down that little laneway there. Alright folks, now I found the oldest surviving structure here in Dantara, and this is the James Leo Hardy house. This is the grandson of William Hardy, who settled here first, here in Dantara. This was a town that was originally named Broad Cove, but because there were several Broad Coves in Newfoundland, it was renamed in 1951 to make ease for postal service, so they wouldn't get confused on, because there were several Broad Coves back then. This home was built in 1904 to 1908, and all of its outbuildings are also surviving. It was declared a registered heritage structure in 2000. It was 120 years old. Well folks, guess where I'm to now? It's the last stop on our journey today. We're at the town of Keels, one of the oldest communities on the northeast coast of Newfoundland. You can enjoy a picnic, go for a swim in Barber's Pond, take a look at the Devil's Footprints, visit scenic Castle Cove and Blue Point, hike up Skiddy Hill Trail, stop at the old Anglican cemetery with headstones dating back to the 1700s, view the scene from Clark's Chimney Hole, and visit Hubert and James Mesh General Dealers to see a movie set from Maudie. The film King Tide was also filmed here recently in 2023. The height of the population here peaked around 485. That was in 1891. And the earliest settlement was pre-1600, somewhere in the 1500s. This was a summer base camp for French and Iberian cod fishermen. And then in the 1675, an English fishing station was established here. In 1702, it was recorded as a permanent settlement. In 1769, Irish immigrants began arriving, though English dominance continued. And in the 1800s, it became an official outport of Bonavista, attracting more Irish settlers fleeing poverty in Ireland. Keels has a sheltered harbour and is very close to the rich fishing grounds. Let's go check it out, folks. Here's Polly's cellar. Here we are in the beautiful community of Keels, you guys. Here's the general store. It's the one and only store in the community. Check out this older home here with the barn that's leaning on a 45. And we have a couple of churches over here. We're gonna keep going down Church Road here now. It's very steep and windy. Alright folks, right next to the harbour here in Keels. It's either a fish plant or like a storage place or a place to work on their pots, I guess. Bunch of crab pots here. Some old school anchors, homemade. This house is really unique. Look how short the upper level is. Like a story and a half, I guess you'd call it. Cute little house, isn't it? Balanced on slate rock. This must be one of the original homes here. Number 9. Whoa, she's slippery. We got the attached barn. Secondary barn. And another structure there. Chicken coop maybe. Lots of little detail in this one. Southcott Award. Retention of Newfoundland heritage. Doesn't say the age though. Wow, pretty cool, man. First time I've seen a barn attached to the house. Super slippery here. Good day. Hello. Is it a long walk out to the chimney hole?
No. Look, see that little cliff right there?
Yeah.
That's, you go directly like that right here.
Okay. Okay, awesome.
So you're like, that's over halfway once you're there.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, go down over the hill a bit, you see down into it?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Maybe I'll just send a drone out.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like up there now, it's ice, right?
Yeah.
I hope it's better than that road.
Yeah.
It's not very windy, is it?
No.
Oh, it's probably, I think 90 kilometers.
Okay, tonight?
Overnight, yeah.
Yeah. Here's the old cemetery in Keels, guys. Jane William Yetman, 1892, age 41 years. Edward Penny, passed in 1876. 1897. Mary Jane, beloved wife of Richard Mesh, passed in 1894, aged 40 years old. This looks like a really old one here. It's too weathered to read. So these must be the ones from the 1700s. See, they're not even legible anymore. trail to Clark's Chimney Hole. Wow. Look at the view up here, guys. There's a chimney hole over here somewhere. It's pretty treacherous though, guys. Here you guys. Easily make your roof tiles here. Wow. Many layers of slate here. It's razor thin. This is all slate. When you look down there, even right at going out to the water, that's all slate as well. I don't know where this chimney hole thing is. Is it inside this one? Alright folks, we're gonna try taking off right from the snow. I stepped it down, patted it down as much as I could, and first time taking off from the snow with the DJI Mini 4 Pro. Propellers are pretty close. This is a risky one, guys. Sun is coming out again. Right in time for our drone shot of Clark's Chimney Hole. Come on, baby, come on. Just have to acquire some satellites here. Okay. Here we go.
Take off. Home point updated.
Alright, here we go folks, we're gonna land in the snow, first time ever. Whoa, that was a little bit scary, but we did it. No damage. Here we have the Hubert and James Mesh General Dealer Store. And this has been a part of the community for quite a long time. So we're in downtown Keels here, folks. Let's go for a little stroll. Check out the miniature lighthouse here and wishing well. Ooh, gee, it is slippery out here, guys. This has got to be an older home here. It looks like a slate foundation. They're built right on the road. Really nice foundation. Clapboard has all been restored. Shingles, everything's looking good on that house. So you notice over there, folks, we got the Miller curve. That's a style that we learned about down in Trinity area, down by Old and New Bonaventure. It's from the Millers. So that's most likely the Miller family living there. Let's go for a little stroll down Hobbs Lane. This one has a river, flows underneath the front patio. I think it's only these two houses up here. Well, folks, look at this absolute gem. This is Billy Wheeler's house, built in 1890. Wooden shutters on all the windows. Slate foundation again. Slate flower beds in front. Newfoundland Labrador Heritage Foundation, Billy Wheeler's house, circa 1890, registered heritage structure. And here's Billy's outbuildings. That's a neat little structure. Neat, very cool looking house. So folks, this is where the road ends. I'm gonna have to negotiate this, try to get this turned around now and head back out, but there's still more houses in here, so it must be summer access only. Doesn't get plowed any further than this. So I'm just gonna show you these homes here. This looks like one of the older churches over here. Let's have a quick look at that, guys. And we're gonna send the drone up and get an even better look over here. All slate foundation on this one. This must have been the first church for Keels. It's built on logs. For piers. Straight up logs. There's an extension there as well. Looks like a newer extension maybe. It's probably open in the summertime, I guess. Let's see if we can look underneath. Yeah, there's the water pipes right there. She's been propped up a few times over the years. You can see some concrete in there. The geology is pretty unique here too. Like, look at the old kettle. Those look like wooden shingles as well. And this looks like a newer build over here. All right. It's a beautiful place, isn't it, guys? Comment down below, what's your favorite part so far? We got a house in there, straight in. But the really neat looking ones are these over here, right on the water. How can we get a better view of this? This looks real deep. Like you could snap an ankle off pretty easy there. Let's try this over here. Not too deep. Partially sandy beach. Alright folks, I'm gonna go crazy with the drone here for a little bit, get some aerial shots for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Deep Dive Survivor.